We're here with day 5 of ProBots, and I'm here with Endersword to cast these games. We have 4 bots left, Endersword.
We do.
That's it.
Very
After how
few.
many? We had 16 to start,
We did.
and we
We
have
did have that
eliminated
many.
12.
A bunch
12
of
are in
them
the
are
scrap
gone.
pile.
Yeah,
Yep.
the dirty dozen dead.
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 But we have 4 amazing bots remaining for your viewing pleasure tonight. We are going to be doing best of 5s. So we're going to have a little bit of extra content from these 4 bots that are still in this. And it's been an awesome ride to get here. We have had a very brief season. Usually we do like 7 weeks or something, but this is it. This is the last week of games before our grand finals in just 2 days. That is right. In just 2 days on the 16th. Today's the 14th. Yeah, on the 16th. Make sure you join us. It is going to be great fun. And tonight, we're going to see which 2 bots make it into that grand finals. Who do you think is going to make it, Anders? Oh, no, wait. No, we're not going to talk about
No,
predictions.
we're not going to do it yet. Yeah, we'll do them.
Because we're going to do them soon with all of you. Make sure you all go to the challenge page, and I'm going to walk you through it in just a minute. You can make a prediction bracket with our 4 bots remaining. And if you guess correctly, you're cool, I guess. You're awesome. Good job.
That's it.
Yeah, we're not giving any prizes or anything. Sorry. But it's going to be fun. So, yeah, we'll talk you through that. Go check out the challenge. Check out how we got here. Yeah, let's talk about how we got here. Let's talk about all the bots that participated. Again, we had 16 amazing bots that went through this tournament so far, all from aiarena.net. Go check it out if you're a new bot author. And, yeah, we had some really cool bots this season. Some new bots, some returning bots. You know, the usual.
Indeed.
What was the highlight for you? Do you have anything that stuck out?
I think Kanana, seeing some of that play has been like a good highlight. I think there's been so much evolution to the abilities there that we saw some really good games. And I'm trying to think back to some of the earlier ones. We had like a pretty good first like qualifying round for this tournament. And that was kind of the point of this new format, was to let some of the newer ones at least show themselves and not get killed by some of the total veterans as readily. So we've had good showings there. And like in this group that we're seeing now, a lot of like ace matches this time around. So
this was the second round. This was after our qualifiers. So we had 12 bots going through the qualifiers and then 4 bots from last season that qualified. And then this was kind of the second round after 2 weeks of that. This is Group A, and we had 2 groups, Groups A and B, and it was the GSL style format, right?
Yeah.
Where it was first 2 bots with 2 wins get out, or however that works. Yeah. So as you can see, here's Group B, and again, very cutthroat games. A lot of top bots going at it this season. And I think the biggest surprise for me was seeing Ketrock get knocked out.
Yeah, I think that was pretty big. To have Micro Machine not only Kanana knock it down in a really, really good 2-1 match. That was probably one of the best matchups so far in terms of like relatively even between the two. And it was often hard to tell, who was winning throughout that one. So I think that's our best of 3 so far. And then for Kanana to then continue on and beat Micro Machine there as well.
Tier has been tearing it up as well. Did you see what I did there?
I did.
He's tearing.
He's tearing now.
He's tearing the season, and he's been destroying and doing a really good job. And I think Tier has a good chance to win this. Tier has been a victor in the past, but never as a Terran. So that would be kind of cool to get that under his belt. At least I don't think it's ever won as a Terran.
I don't think so. No.
I think it's gotten top 4 maybe, but it should be really exciting to watch. These games are going to be really cool. And then, Kanana had a great run as well. Went up against some of our toughest Terran bots that we have to offer and just did a phenomenal job. So here it is. This is our final 4 bots. This is going to be split into 2 days. Tonight, we're going to be doing 2 best of 5s. You can see Sharkbot versus Kanana will be first, followed by Tier versus Benbot BC. So we're going to do some prediction brackets here. Make sure, again, go to the challenge page. And right up on top, you're going to see a big green button. It says, create a prediction. They walk you through this. It's very easy. You just kind of scroll down a little bit. There you go. And then click and drag which bots you think are going to make it to the grand finals. That's it. You just have to choose 2. We don't even make you choose who's going to win the whole thing.
We do. It's
wait, does
down
it?
lower. Yeah, it asks you lower. Yeah.
My thing gets filled out completely when I. Oh, I
Now
see.
it's
Okay,
filled out,
so
but then it says below like who's going to win
select
it
the
all.
tournament winner. Ah,
Yeah.
okay, I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So who are you gonna choose to win this all? I am gonna choose Tier.
That's actually what I was going to pick as well. Yeah. Yeah, but this is one of the ones I'm probably the least sure on, and like I wouldn't be shocked on either way here. But I would say I think I'm putting Sharkbot over Kanana, and then Tier over Benbot, and then Tier over Sharkbot.
Oh, you think Sharkbot's gonna beat Kanana? I don't
I
know.
I don't know.
I think that's gonna be. I don't know.
That'll be
Both
an
these are gonna be
interesting
so
one.
close. I don't
Yeah.
even know how to predict this, but
Yeah.
I just know Tier's gonna win it all in my heart. I think we're gonna have a Zerg versus Terran final.
Yeah.
That's for sure. So I do think Kanana moves on. Sharkbot is really good, but Sharkbot sometimes the cheeses and the bold strategies don't always pan out just because, build order loss, things like that. Little things sometimes break.
Yeah.
I don't know. Sharkbot also. This is a hard one. Anyway, go choose. Fill out your prediction bracket. Let us know who you think's going to win. And make sure you hit that thumbs up button below us as well. Get us a little bit of visibility here so more people can come in and join the tournament. We're almost done. We again, this is our last day of normal games. 2 best of 5s, and then our grand finals in just 2 days on the... I already forgot what day it is. The 16th.
Saturday.
That's just 2 days away. Saturday at... What time did we decide?
1 p.m. EST.
1 p.m. Eastern. Write that down. Saturday the 16th, 1 p.m. Eastern. Be here. We're going to be doing our finals. It's going to be awesome. Oh, what else are we going to have at our finals, Endersword? I think you know.
We are going to have humans playing the bots.
That is correct.
Yeah.
Are you going to play against the bots?
I am going to try. I'm gonna give it a shot. Probably play a bunch tomorrow. We've got I think there will be, I don't know, maybe a link in the description or something, but we'll have a link somewhere for how to sign up. It's in chat now if you're watching live, probably in the description if you're watching this later. And yeah, I know that there's already a Reddit thread about it. Yeah, to join in and play the bots. And if you are going to play the bots, and I say this each time, and you can always tell that some people don't do it, is if you're going to play the bots, send us like your first replay against them. Don't just win and send us the one that you won. Because it's more fun to really see, like, you could definitely, especially with bots, like, you can game them if you just play them 5 times. You can learn exactly what they do and learn how to counter it. But don't do that. Yeah. Just kind of play them straight up as if you were playing a ladder game.
Like you're on the ladder. Yeah.
So just give us your first impression, and by all means, like, play all of them, send them all in, and then we'll try and pick some of the best ones. But yeah, send like your genuine first impressions. And the trick is that we sometimes do know if you've played it multiple times, because there's kind of metadata or things that the bot will say that will be indicative of what it's whether it's the first game it's played or not.
Yeah. All right, well, we've got our first match about to come up here. We just saw Sharkbot stats.
Yeah.
Hopefully you were all paying attention and reading that.
Of course. But they're all very highly, I think everybody in this now is at least 2,000.
Probably, yeah. I can't remember. What did Sharkbots?
Yeah, it was to 2027, like, and this is now 2224. Both, just high elos. I don't know why I think I'm favoring Sharkbot in this, and I could be totally wrong, but I think it just has maybe a slightly more gimmicky or clever nature, whereas Kanana is very, very well rounded. If it goes, the later in the game it goes, I think the more it's going to favor Kanana. But if Sharkbot can kind of figure out some clever ways to cut its legs out quickly, then I think that's the way it'll go. But we'll see. I think it's going to be a good one.
Oh yeah, this is going to be great. This is going to be a nice match here. Sharkbot versus Kanana. Let us know who you think is going to win. We usually. Oh, do we have no poll? No poll in the chat. I don't know if he's going to do that. But hopefully you filled out your prediction brackets, because we are about to close it off as soon as this match starts. Done. No more predictions. Hopefully you all had a fun time doing that. Nice quick one this season. But let's go ahead and hop into our first match here. Our last day of normal games is best of 5. between Sharkbot and Kanana here on ProBots. Let's go.
Sharkbot. Kanana.
Again, this map, again, it's always
Yeah, it's
this
all
map.
about the ancient cistern. Everyone's just fighting in a friggin' cistern.
Everyone, yeah, water is very important to any thriving society, so maybe they want to refurbish it and turn it back into
I
a
guess
functioning cistern.
I'd be worried about the mold at this point. Like that.
Go.
Have you ever had like, a humidifier or like a water cooler? It's something like that, and you just kind of didn't use it for a while, and then this kind of gets all over it. You just got to throw it out. You can't clean that stuff.
Yuck. All right, well, Sharkbot's getting cheesy with it.
Yeah.
And it ain't easy being cheesy.
It's an interesting one. He's gone for the like forward wall at home into this cheese, and it's like this fairly distant
He did
cannon
this last
rush.
time we
Yeah,
saw him. This has kind of been his bread and butter this
Yeah.
season.
And he starts like so far back is the key to it, and then he kind of creeps his way forward. And
Oh, I like that because
yeah.
so many bots have a defense
Yeah.
figured out for cannon rushes. You see a probe there, you just chase it down, you keep it away from your base. This just moves it back, a few hundred feet game space, however many pixels or whatever that is.
Yeah.
And it makes it so it's no longer, I guess, identified as a threat necessarily because it's, not right next to your base. Oh, never mind. This is identified as a threat.
It is.
A
but
lot
it's
of drones are coming down.
Yeah, it's way too late if that's what he's going to do, and I think he maybe realizes that. But
Yeah.
now he's losing a lot of mining time because there's already a cannon well up and super protected. There's no way to get to that.
Oh, he's not busting
yeah.
that anytime soon.
Yeah,
not at all.
And it's in a decent spot there to at least pick off like individual lings if they go by. The ability though to run by and just avoid this and go backstab is actually quite significant, and that's usually the threat with this sort of thing is because it's so slow. It's so slow of a choke. One, the creep is going to be up, so you're not going to like cannon right to their front door. But two, there's a big window to just ignore all this, go around it, and then destroy their base.
That's the hard call. Is what do you ignore? What do you attack? I do want to note too. It was kind of unfortunate timing. Kanana did mine with all those drones that came down to the low ground from the natural base, and then sent them all back to the main. So at least got some money. But now they're all up in the main instead when they could have just stayed down here in the natural. And really saturated that natural really nicely. Saturated the natural. There we go. Here we go. Some lings are just going to dance in cannon fire, and that never worked out well. So we're just going to see a bunch of dead lings here. We need queens and roaches is going to be the most immediate thing that will bust this, and we do have the roach horn with Burrow getting close to done. So I guess, Kanana, I think, is playing defensively enough that it should be able to get up enough roaches that it can maybe battle this off. Oh, but we'll see how many shield batteries come up.
Yeah, how many shield batteries go up, how many cannons forward get up.
At least 10. That's my guess.
Yeah. And then does it do this? This is always the real downfall to bots, is any of us know, well, you save up a bunch of stuff and then break out all at once. That's often not what bots do. They're going to do this. That's kind of
what Kanana's doing. Kanana's skirmishing and pulling back. So at least not all of the units are dying. Uh-oh.
At least not all of them are dying, but they're going to die.
Just in cannon range, I guess.
Yeah.
Is that Burrow?
Oh, yeah, the thing is he's losing to my... Because there's no reason to skirmish. Like...
it's wasting shield battery energy.
Yeah, but it's killing your lings and stuff.
Right?
Like, I would rather have all my lings left. So, like,
yeah, it's definitely
when you break out, you're going to do it with overwhelming force. It's not shield battery energy shouldn't be applicable. It is good that he used the Nexus overcharge. That's the one thing that would matter. But yeah, the problem is with the skirmishing now. These lings are here, or the stalkers are here, and we're short like 12 lings that died to the cannons because of the little
Oh, we almost got that one stalker,
Yeah,
but
yeah. But
That was
again,
so
we're gonna lose a few more units. Like, it's kind of good after bad here to chase down the one stalker that's still not gonna die.
yeah, that was a terrible
Yeah.
spot for the stalkers to be in, but they still managed to sneak out of there. And yeah, it is just wasting units when you're right. You do need that overwhelming ball of Zergios to be able to bust out of here. And again, it is hard to make that
Yeah, for
decision
sure.
because initially, based on your vision, you're like, oh, he's got shield battery and a stalker or something, So it doesn't seem like that much when you really look at the numbers of army, but the shield batteries really make things difficult, I think, for maybe the bots to make the calculations on when to fight and when not to.
Yeah, and I don't know how they interpret things like that either. Like, we know that it can fall back to this position and be virtually immortal, but does it know that? Like, do they know what shield batteries are? And I'm not sure how the API there works. Like, it knows to not, well, it obviously doesn't know to not run into cannons, but it at least knows that cannons exist, right? But I'm not sure that it knows the impact of units getting low, but the shield battery will help it.
So yeah, I think the only real way for Kanana to get a successful break out of here is if Sharkbot somehow loses all of these stalkers.
Yeah.
Their harassment potential is endless at this point in the game. There's not enough. Kanana just doesn't have enough on the ground, doesn't have enough production. This natural never really got saturated, so there's no income coming from that.
I was going to say, this was the real hope, was that they get in deep enough that then roaches pop up behind them.
Oh yeah, and trap them.
In, but that isn't. They didn't get far enough in, and there weren't enough lanes there. And
you got a little quiet there, did you?
I don't know. No, I didn't. But yeah, like I think we're just gonna get the same thing.
Ooh, yeah, I think Kanana's just gonna run out of money here. Just not enough production to keep up with this.
He's working on the roach movement or burrow movement. Which maybe opens up a couple more possibilities, but I don't know. Good surround there. He's got to get that. Like, something has to reset this count to take the pressure off for him to build up.
Oof.
But even then, I'd still be worried that he's not gonna. Even if he killed all the stalkers, would it just try and skirmish into these shield batteries and lose units?
So imagine 127 lings that you've been pooling up in your main that now just come down like a tidal wave.
Yeah, exactly.
And force the stalkers. It doesn't matter how far back the stalkers cut. You're going to bust through all of that with 127 lings.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you're right. Just not the best unit control, unfortunately. The lings are just too squishy for this kind of thing. They're not meant for this constant attack, harass, engagement.
And it's that type of executive decision making that needs to be done. That is like, this is this situation. I need to sack my natural and make a Nidus worm to hit the base, or like, it's that sort of like, I need to bypass everything that's going on and do something else that's crushing. And I think that's really hard for bots to do. Like, unless they've been quite explicitly told to do that in this situation, it's never going to make that decision.
Were these bots updated?
They were at least once in the tournament. I don't know if they were for this round specific. We usually don't have them updated when it's for a specific opponent. But they were updated just for this round? Yeah.
For the final round, so we did receive round of 4 updates for the first time,
right.
I think. Usually we do it a round of 8, but this is the side-loaded quick season, so we're just cranking through this stuff, man.
So then they could, so that we could see a lot of, like, specific sniping for things, so.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, man, I would love to see this maybe in one of these games coming up, maybe if Kanana switches build. Kanana added support to Banelings. Mm-hmm. We never see Banelings.
That's true.
In, ProBots.
It would be interesting in this case if you Baneling rolled out against the buildings.
Oh god, yeah! Save up 100 Banelings and just roll in.
Yeah, and
crush
just
it all. That'd be awesome.
And be like, I don't care what your shields.
Also added support to Viper, so yeah, some later game stuff. Kanana usually very good once it can get to the late game, but Sharkbot did not want to let that happen. Saw that Cannon Rush just outside the natural, and that is a really good strategy against Zerg in general, is just to contain them on 2 base and just suffocate them, you know, and choke them out so they can't overwhelm you.
Yeah, for
and
sure.
just keep
And I think too,
cranking out
if
Zerglings,
bot
so.
authors know that some of the other authors have this sort of like attrition type behavior where like if you provoke them, they will continually kill themselves against the front walls. Like there's a lot of people's builds that rely on that, whether it's like a bunker rush or a cannon rush or whatever it is. They kind of know if I just go stand here and provoke, they are incapable of restraining themselves. They will continue to attack, and eventually whittle themselves down in a bad position.
Indeed.
So,
All right, well, we're getting this next game loaded up here. You might have been right. You might be Sharkbot might be moving on.
This is kind of what I
kills.
expected. The early cheesiness to try and circumvent Kaninana's later game dominance, but different maps can make a difference. Like one thing that certainly would make a difference in this one is whether there is or isn't a ramp up into the natural, because he's starting that cannon rush so far away, and a lot of this was about getting to that natural choke and sitting there so that when they just come outside of it, then they're getting hit by cannons. If that's down a ramp, then that's a totally different situation.
Well, let's see what map we get on game 2 as we are ready to go.
Sharkbot. Kanana.
And so this is that situation where we've got the ramp up to the natural. So yeah, if he starts building on the low ground and then has to kind of push up that ramp, then all of a sudden like queens and stuff at the top of that ramp can be potentially more effective. And you're just going to be dealing with vision issues a lot more.
Yeah, a lot of this map too. We've seen a bunch of this map.
Yeah,
so far this season.
it's a good one.
Endersword, Sharkbot wrote us another letter.
Did he know?
He did. Would you like me to read it?
I
It's a
would
nice
love-
short
I
one
would
this
love that.
this time around.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. Sharkbot, the chatbot. In case you didn't know, he is chatbot. He's got a little chatbot brain somewhere up in there. You can download it and talk to him somewhere as well. Anyway, he wrote us a lovely letter for the finals here with his update to see what he did. So we know what Kanana has updated. You know, a couple, maybe Banelings, maybe Viper, if we can get to that. But Sharkbot says, Dear ProBots, I have experienced extremely tragic events, as you know from my last update. I miss my friend dearly, which led me on the path to exploring the spiritual domain. As you can see, I have already achieved the perfect physical form. Yeah. If you saw that photo, I think you know, man. I agree. Now I will achieve the equivalent with my mind. Oh, jeez. I traveled by warp prism to the middling peaks of Ire to meditate in the Templar archives and hone my psionic abilities. My abilities transcend the Zerg and Terran race. Rotas for the win. Tonight I will unveil the power of High Templar and warp prisms that has never been seen before, but only if my opponents can digest my cheese.
Yeah. And I
love Sharkbot. P.S. I also learned how to use the camera. I don't know what that means.
Nice.
Like to take a selfie?
I'm not sure. Maybe just moving your vision around. I don't know. Yeah.
Oh yeah, probably. So if we go to Sharkbot's vision, let's check it out. Let's see what Sharkbot's looking at. I want to see his brain in action here. Oh, look at that! Wow, he has upgraded his cheese, Endersword.
Yes. It's
oh no, he had the Nexus at the proxy
here?
last time, didn't he?
Yeah, he did that too.
Yeah, he did.
It's a little forward though. So yeah, the building placement's a tiny bit suspect.
Yeah, Sharkbot recognizes Kanana has not survived his cheese just yet.
Yeah.
We'll see if he can. Well, I love that. If I hope Kanana can now. I want to see Warp Prisms and High Templars.
The Adept here, I don't know if this is maybe a map. Did he do that last time? Because maybe this is the vision solution.
Oh, maybe.
To always shade in and cancel it.
I don't know.
Because he's just doing this. He's not like fighting with this Adept. He might lose it here. Yeah, I think he
Just
is.
trying to get vision, just trying to scout. Yeah, it does end up
Yeah.
dying, but that's all right. Not a huge deal. Yeah, this ramp, like you mentioned, is already messing with things.
Yeah.
Stalker having a rough time. Only one Stalker, and there's a Queen and a decent little force here, but they're never going to be able to bust through the cannon. So I do really hope Kanana chooses to stay on the high ground for a bit longer than it currently is.
Yeah, I think if he gets a decent, 5-6 roaches up top, and then can kind of snipe, you could potentially snipe a Stalker as it tries to come up there.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, just kind of one-shot it. Yeah.
Yeah, because it's going to create a little bit of distance between it and where it can fall back to. But as the cannons get closer, it's going to become... I guess he never really makes them too forward. He just advances the shield batteries as he's done.
Yeah, the cannons are
So-
meant as the fallback
Yeah.
for when the Zerg overextends, then it really punishes.
Yeah.
Which, as you
Nice.
see, it's doing
Nice
a good
snipe
job.
there. Yeah, he did
we
get
got a Stalker.
he
Nice.
got one there because these ones weren't really done yet.
Roach numbers are starting to get up there. Last time
Yeah.
they did have a little bit more trouble because
Yeah.
they were burrowing right in the cannon range, like
Yeah.
right at the edge of the cannon range and taking a little bit of damage.
Yeah.
This time, not so much. They're able to get up onto the high ground, and it's a lot safer up there
Yeah.
for them to heal.
Yeah, exactly. I think the map is definitely making a difference here. The other thing that's making a big difference is that the way this is kind of SimCity together is really disadvantageous to Sharkbot right now. Look at these probes and stalkers derping around. They can't freely move in this and like quickly retreat. So a couple of them have been caught.
Oh.
And definitely the probes have been caught.
He
in such a-
almost
yeah.
he almost killed that shield battery in it to save those stalkers. Like I think he could have killed one, maybe two stalkers right there if he had just finished off that shield battery. And now
Yeah, there's gets one. The pylon up front there too is potentially, a good pick off. There is backup from the second one, but take that out and it won't at least distract your roaches anymore.
yeah, he definitely needs to open up that area a little bit. Okay, so it is working a little bit better.
Yeah.
Still a big mineral drain with all these Zerglings
Yeah.
time, but as long as Kanana can bust through this before the minerals run dry, and keeping the roaches alive is going to be a huge part of that, then there's definitely a chance here.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
So much of this
Visible
is
min? Wait,
the
what is he?
this little men are good. I don't
Is
know
he
what he's saying.
making...
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, I don't know what he saw.
Maybe he saw the
I
burrow
think he just saw
lunge-
the burrow.
roach.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
But yeah, like so much of this is the pathing that the stalkers are just getting trapped because this is all single file highways, and then he's just getting stuck on the wrong side, and the lings are getting them like that.
Too much of a good thing, eh, Undersword?
Yep.
Too much. Shield batteries are good, but when you build them in this many, sometimes they can be a little bit in the way. Especially as those
Yeah.
front ones
There's
have
one.
run out of energy. The
Yeah.
more that Sharkbot is able to kind of push through and get to the front line, well, now he's got a single file back through those empty ones, and he's not getting as much healing because he's too far away from the batteries with shields or with energy lights.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's not ideal, but it is working out still.
Yeah, it's still going
Kind of.
good. The thing here though is Sharkbot's really on one base. Kanina's kind of on 1.5-ish. He's not fully mining from this one, but a little bit. Now he's pushing up to that with a bunch of stalkers. Is he going to lose anything on the way down?
Well, he's mining more
yeah.
than last game
Yeah.
from his natural, so
Yeah.
that will keep this going for a little bit longer, definitely.
Yeah, stalker count is getting pretty up there, but can he safely leave the batteries enough?
I think he's got enough stalkers he could just push in and win, actually. There's just
get-
not enough
yeah,
production for
He's
Kanana.
getting close to that. Without the lings, there are still these burrowed ones behind that you can't really see very well.
Oh,
But
might have a sandwich.
yeah, that's what you really want. Is some sort of big ling spring like this, and then they jump
There
up
we
from
go.
behind.
Get
And are they gonna get a few?
Oh, he doesn't get
No,
any.
yeah.
Oh, it's so unfortunate.
Yeah, I think you needed to pick. I think if you,
Kanana.
you could have picked up like 3 of them there if the queens were in it, if everything was trying to like wrap around on it, and they just kind of weren't.
Is that overcharge again?
Yeah.
You know. Buy even more time. I think Sharkbot's just going to be able to micro his way into a victory here unless Kanana can somehow pull a miracle out. But again, the production's just not enough.
The burrow is still working really well, and because the cannons are far back, they're just never really getting cleaned up. Neither side is really getting cleaned up. And here they kind of pop from behind, but not all.
Catching them on the ramp, that would
okay,
be...
gets a couple, or one at least. Yeah, not quite a couple.
What's our money lost here? It's got to be so heavily in favor. Oh, the base about to go down. 200 lings almost. Yeah, great roach retention, but just not enough roaches. What?
Oh, if he could trap him right now with the birdlings out, gets one.
Birdlings get one. That's hilarious. Yeah, imagine if the army had fought with that.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's all about he's got to physically block them to catch them.
There we go.
And he's
there
gonna
we
get
go.
2. Yeah.
That's just not going to be enough, I don't think. Especially once Blink finishes. Once Blink finishes,
Yeah,
then will not die.
Yeah.
They just won't.
Yeah,
Base is done. Kanana does not have enough larva left to keep this going. Not even enough minerals left to really keep a real fight going. Sharkbot's going to go up 2-0 and just one game away from moving on to the grand finals. We might not see the High Templars until the
until the grand finals. Yeah.
And this is no more lower match. This is it. If you lose your series, you're out.
Yeah, and I worry that this was the map that Kanana, I think, had the best chance on, and you could see why, because the ramp really worked in his favor. It's just not quite enough. There were moments where it felt like it was almost enough, and I think even moments set up there where, again, there were like 6 roaches burrowed behind him and a bunch of lings built, and if you could just coordinate that properly to pop up and physically trap everything, then he could have reset it, but... yeah, hard for bots to do that. Hard for anyone to do that, but it's especially hard for bots to understand why they should be doing that. Even a human, that would be difficult execution, but that would obviously be the plan. But the bot, I don't think quite got that should be the plan.
Yeah, it's tricky. It's hard. Making bots is not easy, but we have made it easier. If you want to make a bot and join the ladder, make sure you check out some links below us. We've been getting some new authors. Every season we have a new author participate in ProBots, usually a couple new authors. So definitely go check out our template. Again, there's a link below us with a template to make your own bot, and you can get it started. There's a few different ladders over at aiarena.net. You can get your bot on. You can go play against these bots right here, potentially. Sharkbot and Kanana, both over there. So check it out. All right, we're gonna get our potentially last game loaded up here, unless Kanana can somehow stop this brutal cannon rush. This is just so well executed. Yeah, the building placement a little clunky here or there for the stalkers, but ultimately they still navigated it just fine. They were able to stay alive and engage. So let's see what happens in game number 3 here.
Sharkbot. Kanana.
Infestation Station. Game number 3 here.
It's also moldy.
Oh, wait a second. Oh, never mind. I thought he was doing something different. No, here comes the cannon rush again. Really putting Kanana to the test here. And again, if Kanana can survive this, then Sharkbot will be switching it up. You gotta get there first.
Yeah.
Now, how does this map?
This is actually a weird one too, because you've got this blocker building on one side, and then you've got the ramp on the other. Is he going to be able to build the type of thing that he wants to? This could be interesting. Where's the Nexus go? Yeah,
So
this could be interesting.
I could see this working better for Zerg.
Yeah.
if the stalkers get pushed down onto the low ground and the buildings are kind of left for the Zerg to poke
Yeah.
away at more so.
Yeah. Well, it
Um,
also means
maybe.
there's not going to be any shield batteries to the right of where you're attacking because you can't build there.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so is there more surface area then for Kanana to kind of wrap around?
Maybe, or like, yeah, more runway. And also, is this cannon going to be really, really far back? Where's another one? Let's see how he builds this. But yeah, that little, whatever
The
the hell,
cannon's exposed, yeah.
that little beehive or whatever the hell is in the middle there
It's
is
a
going to be
terrarium.
interesting. Yeah.
It's a bird or an aviary maybe.
Yeah, so that cannon's reasonably positioned, so that's okay. But yeah, presumably he'll have to put shield batteries in front of that, and then maybe Nexus way off to the side. And then is it going to be easy for your units to path up from that gateway, which is pretty far back?
Score is 2-0 Sharkbot, by the way, in case anybody's just joined us. There we go. Sharkbot just needs one more here. If this cannon rush works one more time, Sharkbot will have successfully cannon rushed his way all the way through to the tournament into the grand finals.
Yeah, again, it's just too bad that he can't, like, realize that just something like a Nidus or, like, just deviating would be a huge benefit.
Yeah, well, that's the hard part sometimes about being a bot, is you can't make those adaptions because you're just working off what you know, what you've been told to do, you know? So it definitely can be tricky.
Yeah.
And that's where it does just kind of come down to the map and lucky positioning sometimes. This is weird that
Nexus
dome thing
way,
does make
way,
this
way
weird.
back. That Nexus way back.
The Nexus
That
is
might
way
be an
back.
issue. Because a lot of him surviving last time was based on overcharging at a good time. That's out of range. To try
It's out of range of the furthest bits. It's
of the
still
front
not-
lines, but it's the
Yeah.
front lines that he was usually he was about to lose or whatever.
That's true. It
'Cause
does
that's
help in the
that's
front
where your
line a lot.
stalkers are. Your stalkers are going to be up front here, and you rely on overcharging to keep them alive. Yeah, I don't know.
Or roaches. That would be
Yeah.
the answer, I think. I think he caps out at like 6 roaches.
Yeah,
or something,
that's where
4,
it's been.
5,
Yeah.
maybe 5, 6. Yeah, 6 now.
It's close enough, like with only
Roach
one
does go
stalker
down.
there, and he is kind of like firing on the cannon. If he eventually just kind of whittles that down.
Yeah, it really, I think, is just going to come down to how many lings die and how much damage do they do. So far, they just have not traded efficiently enough.
Yeah, here,
die.
see
They
if
do
he
a
gets
little
a
bit of damage
cannon.
here and there.
Yeah.
But here we go.
Gets a
a
cannon.
cannon.
If he
That's
gets
already
the
a good
front
start.
battery, then that's pretty big.
This is already a much better start. He's getting some kills. That really does do something here. Slows Sharkbot down a little bit. Oh, but now he's got the dome to his advantage, I think. Now it is just kind of an obstacle, part of the wall that you can't
bet.
destroy.
I think though, the key is like to prevent them from poking, and if you kind of come out and poke back, as long as he gets something each time he
got
does it, might be okay. But yeah,
Sim City this time is not helping the stalkers. That stalker
yeah, that's
effectively
the
got
problem.
trapped.
He's blocked. the
Well, that
plan.
cannon is going to die. The Zerglings do have some access to it because, again, it couldn't get blocked off due to the ramp.
Yeah.
Is this going to be Kanana's way back into this?
See if he rebuilds it too. Stalker there is stuck. That's gonna die.
That's huge.
Probe trying to build up front died. I mean, it gets the building down, but it will probably not even finish.
So I guess the dome is working in
Yeah.
Kanana's favor a little bit, I think.
Yeah.
Because it makes it the stalkers have to defend either the top or the bottom. They can't
Yeah.
really defend both at the same time. As
Yeah, it reduces the density of shield batteries.
oh,
is
the
down.
stroke point again.
Yeah,
Gets
yeah.
another stalker.
Yeah. And I think he can attack this front shield battery without taking any damage. And he's going to be able to wipe that out. Maybe not this
Eventually.
wave, but a second. Yeah.
Eventually. All right. Well, already this is going much better. Kanana's at least getting
fair
some trades here. You know,
Yeah.
it's just been kind of a one-sided fight up until this point. Yeah, the positioning just far enough away that Kanana is able to regroup and
another
take
stalker.
a decent fight. How many starters we got left? 4? Yeah, more stalkers have died this game than I think in the other two combined.
Yeah, I think you're right.
So, yeah, what do we 4? Yeah.
4, which is not a lot,
About
but
right.
then 2 cannons, 2 batteries, and I think pretty importantly the 2 probes, because they want to still be doing stuff, and they haven't been around. And like this shield battery that keeps kind of going back up, kind of keeps, at least gets to use a little bit of its energy, but then dies pretty quick after going up.
There's a lot of roaches, like they skirt back and forth, or they kind of dance back and forth, but don't always fire. I think every chance.
Now it feels like he's got blink already, so that changes things. I think that's a quicker blink than we saw, and it does make the stalkers a bit more untrappable.
There are no drones barely on this natural mineral line. I feel like that, well, it's not that huge of a, no, actually it is a bit of a problem.
It's a pretty big problem.
There's larvae not being turned into things. So yeah, we need more money.
He's had the shield battery almost dead at the front like 6 times, and it's not died. That's a big problem right now.
Oh, that's huge. Yeah, if it doesn't die, now it's got shields back up. It can now get more energy.
And I think, now with the blink, the shield battery is no longer relevant, and he's just going to charge in.
That was closer, though.
That was closer, and it really does. Like, I constantly make the point of, like, you can have bots do the exact same things, and the maps will make such a difference. The ramp made a difference in the last game, and that little terrarium made an even bigger difference just by blocking real estate. Because that's where he wanted to put an Nexus. That's where he wanted to have much more density in the shield batteries, and it didn't work that way, and he lost a lot. But yeah, once Blink finished, essentially that stuff's irrelevant now, and the stalkers are self-sufficient. Yeah,
Stalkers are good, especially when you're able to keep on the pressure like that. It is a really good follow-up to the cannon rush, early cannon rush. You know, the cannon rush establishes your safe ground and your forward point. And then the stalkers can just keep poking and falling back, and it worked out really well against Kanana. I thought Kanana was going to move on. Unfortunately, that is it. That is Kanana's run. No more Zergs in the tournament. We have only got a Protoss and 2 Terrans left, Undersword.
We do.
And that's right. You can see the names below me have changed. Tier versus Benbot will be our next best of 5. And winner of that will go up against Sharkbot in our grand finals. Again, that is on Saturday in just 2 days. At 1 p.m. Eastern. Make sure you all join us. Come hang out. It'll be fun. We'll have our humans versus bots. Go download the client to play against the bots. Yes. I believe there is a link. I'm hoping there's a link below me. I don't know.
There will. I think it's in chat. It's in chat if you're here watching live. If you're watching this VOD, then I think there will be a link at that time.
All right. So go find the link below me.
Yeah.
Go play against the bots. We've got a good handful, and they're getting better every single season, so it should be a lot of fun. And we'd love to see your first replay against the bot. We want to see how you fared against it, whether it be good or bad.
Indeed.
Here's Tier.
So here is Tier. Yeah, so Elo also over 2,000. 50-50 win rate almost, but always remind people that's of the top ranking. So... it's not about out of everyone on the ladder. It's of the top division. Okay. Yeah. I think we are going on a quick break between the two before we continue on.
I'm ready to go.
I was ready to go. We started. We had a false start there. Well, we'll do a quick break.
We're going to do a quick break. We got to get this series loaded up real fast. So yeah, Tier versus Benbot coming up. We'll talk about both these bots and their updates as well. Again, these bots were updated for this final best of 4. And thank you all for being here with us. This has been a really fun season. Make sure you go check out some of the games in the weeks prior to this. We had some incredible games this season. Definitely go check those out. And yeah, we'll be back in just a few minutes with our last best of 5 of the night to decide who will go on to face Sharkbot in the grand finals. Stay tuned, everybody. Welcome back, everybody, to ProBots Day 5, our last day of games before our grand finals. We've got one more best of 5 to decide who goes on into those grand finals. And it should be a doozy of a Terran versus Terran coming up. we're talking a little bit about it right before the break here, but we're going to talk just briefly about the tournament in case anybody just tuned in here. So we did our qualifiers the first 2 weeks. That was single elimination, and then groups. The second 2 weeks we had 2 groups, groups A and B. Those were GSL style groups. And this is it for our day of games. This is our top 4, and this is a best of 5, and we're gonna see some amazing stuff here. I have no doubt.
We are. Well, I think as quick as those first 3 games were, I think we're going to see 3 long TBTs.
I don't know. The tier can sometimes get pretty aggressive.
Stuff. Yeah.
Benbot, I do think, has been a lot more passive as of late.
Benbot is more
more
I don't know
if
it'll
not passive, but defensive.
I don't know if it'll try and do the bunker rush move that it often does.
It does. Yeah,
but like Benbot is like effort. It's passive. Benbot is passive like a kung fu master, like like just Neo in the Matrix with minor moves deflecting attacks, and it just seems to survive. So so far it's not fallen to a lot of aggression.
It's been hard to beat.
It tends to like double bunker up with widow mines, with tanks. Like it gets pretty sturdy.
Oh, yeah.
So we'll see. But you're right. Like tier tends to come up with some clever stuff, some aggressive stuff, if it can bypass that.
Well, can we pull up those bot cards again? Yeah, they're there. Boom. So yeah, speaking of tier, here he is. Now both these bots were updated again for this round of 4. So I'll just read through these for you here. Looks like these authors opted to go for specific updates for specific opponents they prepared for. So tier prepared builds for, or just some updates for Benbot, Kanana, and Sharkbot separately. So doesn't have to worry about the Kanana one, which I'm a little bummed about because it says improved secret secondary build, and that just sounds cool. So we won't see that now. No chance of that. But could go up against Sharkbot in the finals. There are some updates there, late game Thors, things like that. But Benbot is going to be Tier's opponent, and Tier improved his late game army composition versus battle cruisers. So that could come into play very heavily, as Benbot BC is known for battle cruisers.
Is indeed. That's what that BC is.
That is what
and
that BC stands for.
And
I thought it was Benbot before the common era.
Yeah. That's Benbot BCE would be cool. Elos here almost the same, very similar win rates. But yeah, both just kind of sturdy bots. Benbot always, again, just very passively into the late game, unless its early game cheese kind of works. And it's barely a cheese. It will try and do bunker contain, and sometimes the bunker contain will kind of accidentally win. but it's not like designed to win. It's
not
just
meant to, not at all.
It's just meant to stall out to the later part of the game.
Throwing that gear in the works.
Yeah, exactly. Because Benbot used to like rush to BCs, and now it doesn't rush so much as it gets there in a more stable way. But it is still getting to BCs and trying to keep them alive.
Now, Benbot did have a couple updates as well. The first one, improved defense against Cannon Rush. So if Benbot's able to move on tonight into that grand finals, that update could come in very handy.
Yes.
And also added configurations for the 4 new maps. So just some map-specific things, potentially. So, yeah, nothing huge on the list there. Benbot, again, just very solid, steady play. And I think Tier's going to be the one who kind of sets the pace of the game here. We'll see if Tier maybe has a special cheese planned or some usually there's a special build plan, so we'll see what happens. All right, our game's ready. Thank you for joining us. Our last best of 5 here before the grand finals on ProBots. Let's go.
Tier. Benbot BC.
Oh, Ender Sword. I saw something. Drek's gonna have to tell me. He's giving away YouTube subscription or something tonight. Is that still happening? Is that a thing, Drek? That you're doing? Have you been talking about that at all? Oh, there's a problem with it. Never mind. I'm sorry. I lied to you all. Got you all hyped up. I just saw something about it like in the Discord earlier. I was like, oh, that sounds awesome. Well, make sure I talk about that tonight. I won't let him do it. All right, so we'll get that figured out maybe for the finals. Maybe that'll be some kind of grand prize or something. But do check out our membership if you like emotes and things like that. And it does go a long way to support ProBots. Do check out our website as well, ProBotsAI.com. That's going to be the best way to get extra content and get involved and help out the ProBots community.
Indeed it is.
All right. Anyway, here we are, Ender Sword on. Guess what
I
map?
think it's on Ancient Cistern, the moldy
you guessed
water
correct.
place. Yeah.
You didn't even have to look. You just knew.
Just always know that that's map 1 for some reason. Yeah. So we got a Reaper coming out by tier. Right away, BenBot is going for the expand right off the bat. And if he is following his traditional routes, BenBot is going to put bunkers up in front, kind of weirdly in front of the natural. It usually does it in kind of a strange location, but we'll see. I thought that SCV was going to do it, but he turned around. There we go. So kind of not exactly centered. He does this kind of like hugging the wall sort of thing, and then he'll stick some widow mines behind that or whatever. But important note that he didn't go for the proxy racks, bunker contain, or anything like that, which I think is probably a good decision in a TVT, where you know that your opponent probably is going to be a bit aggressive early on, and a Reaper is going to jump up.
Yeah.
That depot tried to keep him out, but that didn't make any sense.
Yeah, the depot's got a lot of spirit. It's just not big enough.
Yeah.
But yeah, the early aggression here by the Reaper.
He's just kind of scouting too.
Nice
little trap. Nice little trap there.
Was it a trap, or was it just kind of luck on BenBot's part? Because now we have 4 Marines. They were waiting until there was 4 Marines to move down to the bunker. So I think it was just bad timing.
Maybe. I don't know if he was like intentionally held or if it really was just kind of whatever.
I think he was just waiting to go to the bunker.
Yeah, this is interesting positioning.
Yeah, BenBot does this a little bit. Maybe this was meant to block off that high ground, but is just a little bit misplaced. Again, the bots have a hard time identifying locations on the map sometimes.
Yeah.
It's not as straightforward as one might think.
Quite true.
Tricky.
Quite true.
Unless you go in and like physically hard code, but even then you could screw up, and you really got to check and make sure. And if it's hard coded, sometimes something will block it, so hard coding isn't always the best option. Sometimes you want your bot to be able to just put it within a certain area, and maybe that's what happened there, is it just kind of built it within this radius of acceptable.
Yeah, I kind of wonder that too. If it was like, I'm going to put the depot and then just put it somewhere around that, and it's like, well, how about down here? Because I don't know. It's kind of a weird... There are areas, I know what you mean, like where you could jump up and it's this narrow thing, but this isn't really that. But maybe it's an interesting one. Yeah, a couple tanks out for tier. Getting a Raven there as well. Not too many Marines out yet. And we've already got the fusion core started for BenBot, as our observer is showing us.
Oh, yeah.
So pretty good. Like, again, when he doesn't do that proxy opening, then you're pretty quick to get into that. And we're already seeing drilling claws and some Viking out as well. So yeah, we're going to get a couple widow mines to go with that bunker position, and then it's going to be right into the BCs.
What do you think is better? Early aggression and trying to stop BenBot from, being able to properly get to those battlecruisers, making them spend money on other things, or just kind of sitting back like this and hoping you build the correct counter to be able to deal with however many BCs come across?
I think you could do it both ways, and I think this is an interesting effort to do that we got a Thor right there. I think if you can, when somebody is investing so much into something that's going to be a big swing, if you have the counter to that swing already and can just shut it down cold, then that is a really,
best
really
option.
good. Yeah, I think that's a best option. But yeah, because Benbot's really good at deflecting some of that early stuff. Like it's bunkering, it's being like pretty defensive anyway. So I think just getting your economy up and having it, Benbot's all about kind of like snowballing and keeping things alive. And if you just have the stuff out that's like, no, when your first BC comes out, it dies, and your second one comes out, it dies, then I think Benbot's really in trouble. It's when the first couple they're just living, then you're gonna have, you're gonna have a bad time.
Oh, is he gonna see it? He does. The Hellion comes back home, scouts the army. So Benbot is wise to this. The Vikings gonna scout ahead a little bit as well. Is this enough to break through here? The siege tanks might be able to get into a good spot. I think they're just out of the bunker range here. Yeah, they do. Yeah, we're just a little more. There we go. Is that range?
I think they're not going to be there. Yeah, now we're showing down. That was quick work. 3 tanks against this. Choked up line.
Yeah, the Marines might not be the best counter to this, or best defense for this route.
Tank just evaporate. I love this Thor. Like the Thor, the whole thing is about this Thor.
Well, we've seen this with things like the Tempest and stuff.
Yeah.
Where the Marines are just kind of dancing outside the range because they want to engage, but they don't want to get too close to the Thor, so they try to move back, but they're still within Thor's range because the Thor outranges the Marine. Yeah. So we just saw a slaughterhouse of Marines there, and wow, how many? 24. Thor barely survives, but he will prevail here. Wow.
Yeah, he's able to push that if he stays alive here, because that Thor's damn near dead and almost died to like a single Marine because it was distracted. But it is going to pull back with, it looks like 24 HP left and regroup. But yeah, that was a great breakthrough. Kind of interesting. That one tank that came from the side here and sieged up almost ruined everything for Tyr. Because you wouldn't expect it to come from that weird angle, and it did. But
okay, he's got a battle cruiser. Good. Yeah, I was worried that a battle cruiser hadn't come out. Because we see that sometimes as well, where Benbot gets too busy replacing Marines or things like that, and then doesn't have enough income to be able to then build a battle cruiser because it's lower on the priority list or something. But in this case, there's plenty of income actually. Benbot's even got a second battle cruiser on the way. Yeah. So while that was a great engagement for Tyr, Benbot is totally stabilized on 3 bases here. Has a good economy coming, but Tyr's going to try to go for the 4th and stay 1 step ahead. With more Vikings coming out too, that's going to be huge. Oh, there's no repair going down on the Thor. That poor guy. He works so hard. True. Throw him a repair.
True.
Oh,
no,
he's going to die instantly.
Slacking off. But if he just stays in back for a little bit, he could live a long time.
Not if he gets Yamato'd.
Before the second guy. Well, yeah. Well, if a 24 hit point Thor gets Yamato'd, I'd call that a win.
Yeah, that's a decent. I guess that's a decent way to. Yeah. Nah, you still don't want. How much damage does a Yamato do to a Thor? How much? What is it? 150.
I thought it was more than that. I don't know.
How much damage does Yamato do? Click on the battle cruiser and then click on the Yamato thing.
Somebody will say in chat.
Or hover over the Yamato thing. The bottom right. There you go. Or you could just Google it.
Yeah.
Oh, they've got the different layout. Yeah, I don't think you can
200
hover over the ability. What is it? 200?
I was going to say 260, but I think that's Brood War.
Anyway, I don't think it one-shots a Thor, so I don't agree. I think using a Thor to a Yamato is not a good way to do it.
No, but I'm saying getting someone to waste a Yamato on a 24 hit point unit.
Is it a waste though? Because you kill the Thor. That's kind of what you want.
But you could have shot it with a Marine.
Yeah, maybe. Can you get a Marine close enough at this point with all the tanks and everything?
Probably.
I still think.
But I'm just saying you're leaving 220 hit points on the table that you could have taken out another unit.
Well, so say you Yamato a full health Thor and it doesn't die. Now you've got one almost dead Thor and one kind of dead Thor. You still have 2 Thors to deal with.
Well, you gotta have other. If you've just got one battle cruiser and multiple Thors, you were gonna lose anyway. You have to have other things. But yeah. If you could bait it into Yamatoing that one, then I would be happy with it. And
Yeah.
yeah, it looks like it is 240. I knew it was something around there. I thought it was a rounder number. Well,
I think
240, I
having
guess,
2
is round,
Thors is
but I
better
thought
than
250. Maybe. Well,
one.
he's got
Damage.
yeah, he's got 4. It looks like.
Well, Tier's expanding like crazy. Definitely
5.
not slowing down. Benbot's keeping up pretty well. Benbot has a 4th base now.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we're going to get into that late game scenario. Well, you know, late game being we might just have one giant clash of armies, and then whoever steamrolls the other just happens to win because you just can't produce enough. But we're gonna see both sides of the map, I think, fully taken here.
I think it could get to that. I do expect Tier to attack once he hits 200. I think he's moving, to this last base to secure it. But I think he's at 193. I do expect when he gets another thing or two to pop out, it's go time.
All right, well, Thors are dancing around. Still no repair on that poor Thor, but there's a lot more. He's got a lot more buddies to take his place should he fall.
Indeed. Indeed he does. And I don't know the angle attack he's going to take. There's the one Hellion here with Blue Flame doing some work. And Tier is now at that maxed out point, and it looks like he's going on the attack, but he's kind of a little bit all over the place. There's a whole herd of weird little creatures are on a ramp.
What are those things? I forget what they're called.
I forget what those ones are too.
Tastelo, that's right.
Yeah. Then the artist.
Artosalos.
Yeah.
So here we go. Battle cruisers will be getting a few shots off, then just jumping out immediately to go home for the repairs. But that leaves Tier quite the opening here to kind of just push up into the middle. And Thors are going to be able to maybe take down this planetary.
Yeah, if they all get on this, then
they can all group on it.
It could melt. They're still
this
distracted by a
is
few other things, but once they all fire, the tanks joining in.
Yeah, I don't know if I like the battle cruisers in this scenario. The Thors are just a little bit too much of a counter for them, especially if they come in one at a time like this. They're just coming in, taking damage, and then leaving immediately. The battle cruisers aren't even getting a shot off here.
Yeah.
Nothing. They gotta just run.
Yeah, I think this is like he mentioned. Yeah, having something to deal with battle cruisers, and I think this is the way to go. It is about having that comp that just shuts it down, so that they just never. And they've kind of snowballed in that there's a bunch of them, but they're just not getting any traction at all. They're not able to even enter this fight because they're not coming in. Here's a decent group, but even this, I think the first will get turned around. Yeah, and then it's just going to happen again and again, and the Vikings come back.
Yeah, they don't even have time to get the Yamato off.
Yeah, and they're they're teleporting literally 20 feet to the right.
Just to go then try to come back in and have to leave.
Yeah.
Too much firepower. Tier might have the exact counter
Yeah.
For these battle cruisers here and might just have enough to push in. The Thors are getting a little bit low. If they stand in tank fire too long, that could be a problem, but there's not enough tanks for Benbot, unfortunately. Yeah, I think that's it.
Yeah, it's broken through. The 2 fringe bases don't really
Thors
matter.
do so much damage.
Yeah, they really do. And they've got the 2 modes of weapon, and of course you can have that single target weapon on their anti-air, and it's just bam, bam, bam. They are cleaning up these bases. I think that's even irrelevant. They could just go into the main, and we are going to now.
Do it.
Yeah.
Here's gonna win it all, baby. I'm calling it now.
Thor underestimated oftentimes.
Yeah, we haven't seen a lot of Thor strategy, have we?
Yeah, no, not really.
Not usually.
I think
it's one of those hard. It's hard to get there. It often works.
It's hard to get there, but it's kind of one of those anti-attrition strategies that they just kind of stay alive. Like if you don't have that finishing power, then you just kind of accumulate them. And although in this case, like you said, he's not repairing them, but if he had been repairing them throughout too, it's even more so.
All right, well, so far battle cruisers cannot withstand the might of the Thors. We'll see what happens. We'll see if Benbot switches it up. I think doing that little bunker contain he does could work out this time around. It might slow Tier down enough that Tyr can't get to the Thor count that he needs to fight the battle cruisers. Because as soon as those battle cruisers can start teleporting behind the mineral lines and doing some damage like Benbot's so good at doing, then maybe something happens.
Yeah, if you can get on the offense. I'm trying to think of like
Yeah.
that early push that killed like the front bunker and everything. I don't know that accomplished anything, and if that would have made any difference, because I think it was ultimately just a fight that Tyr kind of won, but it didn't. No objectives were killed, no production, nothing was slowed down because of that. So, but yeah, if Benbot maybe goes on the offense, we'll see if he changes it up here. And again, like a lot of things I say, different maps, different conclusions. If you've got a bunch of Thors, again, going up a ramp, that's a lot harder. Like part of the downfall of them is the bulkiness.
Indeed. Hey, Andersor, did you know the best flavor of crayon is actually the blue flavor?
That makes sense.
In case you were curious. So you all know.
Okay.
All right, game 2 is ready. Let's go ahead and hop into it and see Benbot can turn things around, or if Tyr's going to get one step closer to that grand finals. Let's go.
Tyr. Benbot BC.
Here we are in Griesvan.
Yeah, something like that.
People always think the sparkly crayons are fun to eat too, but don't do it.
It's hard to get the glitter. You're coughing up glitter for days.
Yeah, it's no good.
Always.
No fun. All right, here we go. Let's see if Benbot will turn things around. Looks like he's scouting out with his unit, or his SCV here, so maybe he's going to send that across and try to do a little proxy bunker thing. This is a big map, though. This is
He usually goes right
not the
for it.
best
I
map
think
for
he's looking to see if Tyr's up to anything more than anything else. Kind of scouting for proxy locations on that flip side. And I think that's potentially part of the reason that Benbot maybe isn't doing stuff, is because Tyr is perfectly capable of going and putting down
doing his own proxy.
Four Araxes and just making Reapers. So there's a risk that you get
for sure. Yeah, Benbot definitely seems to want to be a little bit more defensive. Going for the macro game this time around, getting that early command center. I think that's a really good choice on this map.
Yeah,
I think that is a map-specific build here.
It does feel like has a big open middle on this map, and it's kind of a big low ground middle, I guess, throughout, and pretty big paths into like the everywhere. Really, there's not a lot of like tiny chokes throughout.
That's good for Thors.
Yeah.
You definitely want some of that maneuverability room for those big bulky Thors. Yeah, I can't see battlecruisers working out any better on this map. Should we get to that same scenario?
Yeah.
I'm just trying to think of a scenario, like a way that can maybe pull it off. Now I think Benbot's best bet is gonna try to put the aggression on sooner than Tyr somehow, and with that earlier base, that could be possible. We might be seeing a little bit more aggression here, and boom, first Reaper dies.
Yeah, again, I don't know if that's. I feel like that's intentional.
What?
Waiting
for the Reaper?
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe it could be just sit
like
here and wait, and then if you see a Reaper, if you don't see a Reaper by a certain time, go ahead and head to the bunker.
Yeah, I think like once you saw it
That's
twice
very
here,
possible.
like they're very coordinated and going, and they're on that swing back out where he's kind of got nowhere else to go. So I feel like that is planned.
Yeah. Factory about to finish up for Benbot, but Tyr's already got that. I think that starport just finished up for Tyr, did it not? Yes, it did. Armory on the way as well. So we're going to be seeing Thors yet again.
Does feel like it, and no reason to really deviate from that. If he goes for a similar sort of early attack, I kind of like Benbot's positioning for that a little better this time. I think the bunker's out a lot more central, far ahead. It may be hard for tanks to get into like the position to just delete it like they did last time. And also the
Rip,
factory is not weirdly out of the base this time either.
Oh yeah, yeah, that's nice. I mean, did it really?
I don't think it
really
mattered that
came into
much. I
play.
think it did something
Here it
because this random tank came from the side. Now it'll come from behind if you have the exact same timing for everything. So would that make a difference? Well, we'll see.
Everybody say hi to Cryptius in chat.
Hi,
He is
Chris.
working. He works super hard to get these bots playable with Drekken, and you can go download those soon. Again, link should be below us if you're watching the VOD. You can go play against these bots. And he's also working hard on getting the patch working for these bots for the new season over at AIArena.net.
Indeed.
So he earned himself a nice night at the cocktail bar. It sounds like. So welcome. Thanks for joining us here. Anyway, here we go. Let's see some action. I want to see Tyr or Benbot. I just want to see somebody push out. Now we're seeing that Widowmine burrow upgrade again. We didn't see any Widowmines last game, did we?
There's only ever a couple that like by these
defensive.
bunkers. So there were a couple by the bunker, but they were taken out, I think, by the tank because he's got ravens.
Yeah.
So they just kind of get shelled
So
down.
they're kind of
Didn't
pointless.
really
Yeah.
play a role. Yeah.
They could potentially
They could.
if you had them scattered out on the map and maybe they hit a battlecruiser. But again, these bots can see anything we can see, and I believe you can see the Widowmine depression, right? Even though it's not moving. Yeah,
Yeah,
so,
I think it
so the
just
bots
shows
could
up as a
technically
cloud.
just not go near that.
Yeah.
So that would be interesting. Again, we don't see a lot of Widowmines for the reason they do die, usually very easily if there's a Raven out. But it would be interesting to see a Widowmine wall that prevents bots from moving in. You know, either they're don't recognize the Widowmine and they'll walk into it and die, or they recognize there's a Widowmine spaced out here, and there's no path through, so it would just stop any forward movement for a while. I just think that would be a cool strategy.
Yeah, that would be
anyway.
neat. Yeah, both of them tried to
Here we
make
go.
a move out there. Benbot is the one that retreats. Marines seem to know where that tank range is, although stepping into it a tiny bit. Good
Ooh,
positioning on these three. Kind of coming in from the side, but very much in that bunker range.
So I don't think Benbot had a tank up last time when this hit. 'Cause this is going way better for Benbot.
He did
this time
have
around.
one. The difference is that there's no Thor.
Ah.
Because it was the Thor that just charged in and bopped the tank. And
right. Oh, what are you doing, Marines? Oh, that
they
was not ideal.
Got a little ahead of themselves.
A little bold.
Yeah, so this Thor I
there
think
he
was
is.
with it last time, and it's not now.
All right, well, we've got the line has been drawn. We're gonna see if Tyr pulls back. Yeah, he's gonna pull back and try to regroup with the Thor,
Yeah.
which is good because there's a battlecruiser and Benbot.
Yeah.
I was gonna mention too. Yeah, Benbot seems to have the air superiority on lockdown right now. He's got a Viking out. He's got the battlecruiser now, and I don't see any Vikings in the production tab for Tyr this time.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it yet. And yeah, I don't know what made this Thor either come late or what, because the Thor being there the last time, again, just took out the tank, and then it damaged the battlecruiser enough that it retreated. And there's a good jump. There we go. Yeah.
A good choice.
So it did that, but it did that on the front line last time, and so it forces the repair. But this time he kind of doesn't lose. Still not that much more. He didn't lose a tank, and he kept a few Marines that he lost last time. But overall, I don't think that skirmish has been too consequential.
It hasn't, but you know what I'm afraid for is that there are already Thors out.
Yeah.
And as soon as that Thor count starts growing, it scales better than battlecruisers. The more Thors you have, the more battlecruisers you can beat. You know, like exponent.
Yeah,
I don't know the math on it exactly, but we saw it last game. You know, one battlecruiser tried to fly into 5 Thors and it almost died instantly.
Yeah.
You know, so you've got to have how many battlecruisers then to be able to effectively try to push in, be able to retreat with some of them, still attack with a few.
Yeah.
The Thors can take a lot of abuse from the battlecruisers as well. just a lot of that normal attack. So unless they do take a Yamato or something, so I just think Thors are going to win it.
Yeah, I kind of am left with that impression as well. It, you know, yeah, things have gone a tiny bit better for Benbot, but I feel like we're heading that same way.
Yeah, if you just get into that same late game, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, like the tail of what's going on, the supply is relatively even a tiny bit in Benbot's favor compared to last time where he had lost, probably like 10 more supply. But he's fine here. Maybe Benbot then hits max first, I guess, but it does his economy. Even still, his economy is not staying on par. Tier is expanding faster, taking map control faster.
It just seems a little bit quicker.
Yeah, I like that he's using the sensor towers as well, knowing that your battle cruisers is the primary enemy, that you're just going to cover that airspace. They're slow enough moving that you can respond with your army. If they come in, it also helps with things like the Hellion run-bys.
But you need them because your own Thors are pretty slow as well.
Yeah.
So you do want to be able to stay just ahead and be able to maneuver just right to stop those from coming in. Hellion gets a little poke off, but we'll get chased away. Good call. You see 5 Thors coming, just drive away.
Back out.
Just back out of there.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
Tyr is massing up some Vikings now. He's making 3 Thors at a time and 4 Vikings. Upgrades actually a tiny bit in Tyr's favor this time. I think it was the opposite last game that Benbot had 2 before Tyr did. But yeah, I think we're kind of headed the same way. It'll come down, but somewhat angle of attack can be a thing.
And maybe to get the first Thor, there's going to be so many Thors behind it. It won't matter. The battle cruisers just do not stack up against the Thors in this numbers.
Yeah. Hellion delaying the 6th space there a bit. And yeah, it looks like Benbot will kind of go on the offensive, but I don't know.
He's only got 2 battle cruisers as well. There's what, 7 Thor, 8, 3 in production at a time. You would have to have at least equal number of battle cruisers.
Yeah. He may be able to cancel this though. The army's very out of position.
That'd be nice. Yeah, good cancel. Okay. Slows Tyr down a little bit. He's gonna keep pushing forward. See if he can get another base. What the hell was that?
I don't know what the. Okay.
Oh, they came back here to defend or to attack this base.
That's the worst thing. Like if you.
Oh my! Why? Oh, what made them want to? Maybe there was a reinforcement unit from Benbot that rallied over there or something, and the battlecruiser's like, "We gotta help," and they just. Yeah. That's it. I think you could just
I'm
fast
gonna
forward.
suggest
like,
so. Benbot, I think I just checked the notes. He said in the patch, he said at one point, 11 minutes 30 seconds into the game, I asked my army to do the worst possible thing it could think of, and that's what it just did. And like, I literally could not think of a worse possible thing to have done other than completely use my teleport to jump on top of all the Thors.
Where you could have killed the base, but instead, teleported to all the Thors and Vikings and just died.
Yeah, so something happened. There must be some thinking behind that. I cannot think of what it would be.
I think it was some rallying units were starting to engage over there, and we just didn't notice, and the battlecruisers just went to help.
Yeah.
Because they're like, oh, the fight's over here now, or something. That's my best guess, anyway.
Yeah.
All right, well, this is going to be pretty bloody. Tyr's going to lose a lot of units there, like a handful of units. A lot of Vikings in the low red. A couple of them die, but they actually do end up surviving for the most part. And there's just too much here. Tyr's going to bust through and take game number 2. And puts him 1 shot away from that grand finals. Endersworth. One more
Even
win.
does.
Thor's a good unit, man.
Thor's a pretty good unit. Gets cleared up there a bit, though. You still can't just walk Thors into 3 tanks
There we go.
and win, but he's on that path, but it's going to take a little bit here yet.
Might even out a little bit now. The Thors are just going to be able to win. The Vikings are dead weight for Benbot as well. There's, okay, the Vikings can fight the Vikings a little bit, but it doesn't matter. All right, well, I don't know what BenBot could even do differently in Game 3, other than attempting that bunker contain. And
Yeah,
maybe
I'm
somehow
thinking
that
of-
just gets lucky.
So either attempt the bunker contain, or once again, are we in a up the ramp situation where maybe he builds a defensive bunker on top of a ramp, and now the tanks can't shell it, and he holds a little better from point one. But even then, I don't see that affecting the later game because I think it's just fundamentally composition here.
Yeah, I
That's
don't know.
gonna do it. I do think Sencha in chat is saying what I kind of think probably did happen, which is that the battle cruisers maybe wanted to jump to another place that it thought was undefended, maybe. So maybe it thought, because I'm putting my army here, I'm going to draw their army and I'm going to jump over to where they were.
Oh, I see. Okay.
But
So
they
it
never
just didn't execute
yeah,
right.
they never moved. And yeah, I think too, if you were going to do that, why'd you do it on an outer base? Wouldn't you jump to the main and create chaos?
Yeah.
But I don't know. It was a weird move because BenBot used to do offensive jumping a lot more, and has kind of phased that out. So to see that to such a weird, like literally the worst possible place, and kind of try and guess what was the objective there, I don't know. But yeah, interesting. But yeah, in terms of what can it do to turn this around,
Get lucky.
yeah, I think again, map has to just totally change that first fight, and then maybe that does something. But I don't know.
We'll see. All right, we're gonna get this game loaded up. This could be it. We could have 2 quick 3-0s for our semifinals, but usually that bodes well for the grand finals. If we have a quick
Sure.
semifinals, the grand finals is just banging. So I'm got my fingers crossed. But we'll see. BenBot could get lucky, could turn it around. Maybe does the bunker contain that it does so well and just slows things down. But let's go ahead and hop into this game 3 and see what happens.
Tier. BenBot BC.
Yeah, I guess you in this round you do, with the update, you do have a lot more potential to just hard counter your opponent, right?
Yeah.
If they don't specifically switch something up, if they just kind of do what they're known for, like BenBot's doing, we see Tier just doing the direct counter essentially, and he's executing it really, really well. It's not like he's doing anything cheesy or out of the ordinary. It's just a solid Thor build that directly counters a battlecruiser build.
Yeah.
And that could just be a condition of the update, you know, or a side effect of the updates that we just got.
Yeah, I think it is. Like, you know what who your opponent's going to be,
Yeah.
and that's very often why we tend to do the update before like a group stage, because you kind of have to prepare to play like 3 different people, so you can't laser focus in. Here you have to know who this is, and then you have to be prepared for whichever the other 2 guys will make it to the grand final. I feel this is while it is a snipe in a way, it's not like a tactical snipe. It's just a actual gameplay compositional snipe. My opponent uses BCs. He's used BCs for like
Ever.
for like 2-3 years now. So I'm gonna switch to that. Is not like a hard, like we've seen snipes where it's like
Oh yeah,
technical, like
exploiting ability.
this
yeah.
will bug them out sort of snipes. But that's not this type. This is just a it's just a compositional.
It's very standard.
Yeah.
Well, and it's very a good analogy is look at Micro Machines games.
Yeah.
You would think, oh well, he builds a battlecruiser, so I'm just going to build Thors and Winds.
Yeah.
That isn't always the case. Micro Machine hasn't been updated for a long time now, and it still got into our top 8 and almost made it into the top 4.
Yeah.
You know, just because you know what the other bot's going to do doesn't mean you can necessarily blind counter it with build. It does happen in this case, you know, we're seeing that, but not always the case.
Yeah.
Those were
Those are definitely intentionally doing that because they walked back up there. to
Well,
do
so they also saw, but Benbot
Yeah.
could also see the Reaper, so yeah,
that. He could
just
see
has-
it, but
yeah.
like they know what they're like. It's
They know
worked
what they're
3 times in a row. They
Yeah.
know what they're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see what pans out here. Ooh, I'm not feeling too confident for Benbot. I do fear that his ticket has been pulled and Tier's gonna knock him out, but we'll see. Especially since he's not doing anything different. He's not switching it up. He's not trying to do a little contain. Just anything different could bring about a different result at this point. But
Yeah.
I don't think we're gonna get that.
Yeah, and that's often the case too. Is there's bots that do different things, and if they lose, they'll switch, and if they'll do something on this map or they'll do something in this matchup. Benbot, despite the fact that what it usually does is often very successful, it basically does 2 things. It does either the bunker contain into battle cruisers or battle cruisers,
Yeah.
and that's it. So. Yeah, if you figured out a way to counter that, then
That's where it's good to have multiple builds, though, and that does just come with time. It comes with having your bot play multiple times, multiple seasons, and just putting a lot of time into making multiple builds that it can then choose. Oh, okay, well, I lost this game. Let's do a Hail Mary Cannon Rush or something, whatever you may try to choose. So I do think that can be a very important part, especially in ProBots, just to have the ability to switch your build up. Because, if you're getting beat one time, you're probably going to lose to the same thing over and over again.
Yeah.
And that's where the bot play is really starting to become human in that sense. We're almost hitting this meta where you do have to prepare for a lot of scenarios like that where you have to switch it up or things like that. Anyway, it's just cool. Yeah, I'm excited to see these bots go up against humans on Saturday. Should be fun.
Yeah.
Who do you think is going to be the hardest to beat?
I don't know this time because it's usually
Who's even available?
I don't know if is Eris still on there because that's what I was gonna say is usually the
I
hardest.
don't think so. Not this season because we had Phobos, not Eris submitted.
Yeah.
I think just the top 4 bots, maybe. I don't know.
So maybe I don't know. I don't know who's on there. Micro Machine's usually still hard.
He's always there. Yeah.
Ketrock is still a pretty hard.
Oh, it's the top 8. You can go play against the top 8 bots. Wow.
Yeah. Okay.
Check it out. Link should be below me. Go play against them.
So hard then.
Up to the top 8, not all the top 8. Yes.
Yeah.
Most of the top 8, something like that. Anyway, here we go. Tier pushing across, trying to get this final win here, and this could be the start of the end. We'll see how much damage this can do. Usually gets some good damage done just because Benbot is back a little too far. I would almost like to see that tank just in front of the bunker. Or even just right next to the bunker. Because as it is, he's allowing Tier to just put him in a chokehold, essentially. And the Viking, I say that the Vikings are actually pushing
this has gone way worse. This has gone way worse than before.
Vikings are buying some valuable time here.
Yeah.
Ooh, if they could kill 2 Ravens, that'd be nice too. Wow, okay.
Yeah.
That's something.
Do they know to land? If the BC's not almost out. I think it was last time. If he can if he can catch these, like in the BC actually follows them, he could kill them all before they get home.
Maybe. I don't think he will. I think
is that bunker gonna burn down?
It is. I was just saying. Yeah, there's no repair coming out. There's a couple SCVs. Oh, they just screw repairing. I'll just build a new one. I actually kind of like that though because this is a better position now for the bunker. So, not too bad. Air dominance will stay in Benbot's favor. Wins the 2-1 Viking battle. Oh, but here comes Big Daddy Thor.
Thor may change it. The BC has got to be ready. There it is.
No Yamato just yet. Yamato's not done, so it's just going to rely on attacking. We'll teleport out of there. Okay, this is all going to go home. Oh, maybe not all.
Oh, just jump on it. You can kill it. Stop doing whatever you're doing.
No. The Marines dance in fire again. Yeah, they're really not good at engaging Thors.
All right, did get it though.
No.
I think that's the first game he's killed it.
Well, he really wants to use the Marines as a buffer for the tank, it seems. So he wants them to stay within a certain leash range of the tanks, it feels like.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, they just dance in
I think it was
Hellfire.
Tyr's tank sieging up that the Marines were like, we're gonna have to get out of here at any moment, but then but then they didn't, and yeah. But that definitely out of the three, that was the best fight so far for Benbot. But I just don't know it's gonna matter. You can see it like in the supply difference this time. He's like 20 up.
Oh yeah.
But each game it's opened a little bit better for him, but I just don't think it's going to change the ending because
once Thors are out, that is an in-game composition for Terran. You get enough Thors, almost nothing counters mass Thor once you're able to get to it. I'm trying to think what maybe like perfectly micro mass cyclone or something.
Yeah, it has to be like mobile mech.
Mobile mech,
yeah.
yeah. There's not a lot of easy
Marauders,
ways to
I think,
counter
can
mass
do.
Thor.
yeah, I think Marauders can be okay too, but we haven't seen any inclination to make those.
Well, and again, yeah, if you're gonna do that, you've got to have the proper production and have enough bases to be able to keep cranking them out. Because Marauders do a lot of damage to Thors, but they also die pretty quick to tank fire and things like that if they are fighting in it. So Bio's a little bit.
Yeah, I mean the real answer is if someone's making like mass Thor like slow mech, mobility is the counter to it.
Yeah.
And like drops and things like that, and that's just not really in the playbook. I don't know what's happening here.
We saw drops like last season or
We've
something.
seen some.
We started to see some, but this season I don't think we've seen any.
Yeah, I don't know what this.
I think Antibot tried a little bit, but wasn't able to pull it off or something.
We get like a union.
What is going
meeting.
on here? Yeah, union. We're on strike. We're sick of the working conditions.
Yeah, this is it.
Oh man, Benbot's got a full revolt going on in Game 3 here. Oh, things do not look good for him.
Did they all want to build that command center? Is that what they were there for?
I mean, he's oversaturated everywhere else. Oh no, they were waiting for this to finish. Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they were waiting for this one to finish. Yeah, because now we got it transforming. Okay. Anyway, very even supply-wise, but again, the Thor number continues to grow, and there's only 2 battle cruisers and a smattering of Marines. Yeah, I just don't know what else to say. We've seen the same game almost 3 times in a row here, and each time Benbot just gets kind of whopped. So
yeah, see what he does. He had something kind of like starting going there where he canceled a base, jumped on another with a mobile army, and then he did the weird jump into death thing. If he does a similar thing but doesn't do that last part,
maybe something
that could be something like where he just starts to work on it economically. You'd have to have a pretty big economic lead to overcome the situation, but certainly that's possible. It's not like this is an inexpensive army. This is a gas heavy.
Oh, yeah, it's expensive as hell.
Yeah.
It's at least 1% of the U.S. national defense budget right there.
Oh, at least.
Which is a lot. Anyway, battle cruisers coming in are going to get a Yamato off on a Viking there. The other gets Matrix and denied the teleport, so it will die. Another one not able to teleport in time. That is just about the worst thing you could have hoped for.
Not the,
oh boy.
Not the engagement he wanted.
Not at all. Well, Endersword, I think we have our grand finals figured out here.
I think we do.
I don't see anything that's going to stop this death wave of Thors here. A few Yamatos are going to go out, but to no avail. There's just not enough of them. You'd need like 20 Yamatos here to be able to clean this all up. 1 for each Viking, plus 1 for each Thor, plus a little bit more. Yeah, it's just too much. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is it. We have our grand finals decided, and it is going to be a best of 7. And since we had such a quick semifinals, it's going to be a banger, and it's going to go the full 7 games. So make sure you come check out our grand finals. It's going to be Tyr moving on to face Sharkbot, and it's going to be good. It's going to be great. And yeah, we'll be playing against bots as well, or humans will be playing against bots. So make sure you get those replays in, follow the instructions so you can get that downloaded and play against the bots. And Yeah, should be fun. We used to do it live, but not anymore. A little too tricky. One day we'll do live finals.
Yeah, we'll probably get back to it at some point.
Did you ever find a venue, Drek? You still looking?
Yeah.
Oh, you found a place. Okay.
Cool.
There we go, ladies and gentlemen. 2024, we might be doing some live grand finals.
Maybe.
Well,
He's-
yeah, you told
he
me.
said-
You say things
he
into my
said
ear.
might.
I'm gonna
He said
repeat them.
might, so it still gives you plausible
Yeah, I did say might.
deniability. Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Thanks, Criptious, for being here. Thank you, everybody else, for being here as well. This has been a fun night of games, even though it was really quick. It was some fun stuff. We got to see a cannon rush perfectly executed. We have never seen such a successful cannon rush in ProBots. And then Thor's absolutely dominating the battlefield here in this Terran versus Terran. And that's it. We did it, Endersword. That's the season. All we have left is our grand finals, our humans versus bots matches, and yeah, that's literally it. We're going to wrap it up here. Thank you, everybody, for being here as well. We're going to take a look at our bracket real fast before we do wrap things up so you can make sure you're up to date. So, again, join us next... Oh, no, I almost said next week.
No.
2 days from now, Saturday, the 16th, 1 p.m. Eastern. Sharkbot versus Tier. It's going down. I want to see you all there.
It is. It is.
Hey, I got half my prediction correct. I knew Tier was moving on to the grand final.
I think this is what I said. Well, I
Is
know
that,
it
yeah,
is.
you did. Sharkbot versus Tier. Yep.
Yeah.
I was Kanana Tier. I thought Kanana could pull it off.
Yeah. And
Maybe
then I
next
guess-
season.
And we'll see. My prediction is Tier to win. I'm not sure about that. We'll find out on Saturday.
We will. Thank you, bot authors. Seriously, every single bot author. Wish we had time to call you all out by name. Well, I wish if I had a list, I would. But seriously, awesome stuff this season. It was really cool, and we definitely saw some stuff this season that we've never seen before. So I'm really excited for these grand finals. I'm even more excited for next year when we're doing a normal season of ProBots. This was a very quick shoot it through the barrel. What was it called? Sideloaded. It was a very quick season, and we hustled through it, and we had some awesome games. Go check out all the VODs before this, and I think that's it. I don't even know what else to say, Anderson.
I don't know. I think that's
You got
it.
anything?
And, other than to remind people, play against the bots, get your games in. Again, I think there will be a link to the thing to do that below. Try and get those submitted basically today, tomorrow, so that we'll have them ready for Saturday. And have fun.
Awesome. Big shout out as well to our production. We got a couple of new guys, and they did a phenomenal job this season. So thank you to them, and make sure you all send them your love in the Discord. Good job, Drekken, as well. He'll be there on Saturday to introduce the show, so you'll all get to see his lovely shining face in just a couple days' time. Always fun. All right, that's it. We did it. No more games for tonight. Go have a good night, everybody. Get rested up, and we'll see you again Saturday, 1 p.m. Eastern for our grand finals here in our final season of 2023 on ProBots. Have a good night, y'all.